Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and today I want to show you all how I make one of my favorite styles of reaction cabs in fused glass using frit. The first color that we're going to start with is medium grain peacock green opal. There will be links down to everything in the video description, all the frits that we use and molds and everything. My molds, zip, and frit I do get from Art Glass Supplies, but I also enjoy shopping from Delphi Glass. This isn't sponsored, that's just where, I go to shop. I have covered it in other tutorials, but I did 3 to 4 coats of Zip ZYP. It's a boron nitride high temperature lubricant onto my ceramic mold and let that cure fully. So we've done 1 scoop, I'm going to do a 2nd scoop, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm not weighing this, mostly because my scale isn't near me, and I'm very, very lazy. Basically, I have no good excuse, you guys. But yeah, so it's just 6 generous scoops of this mold, or this frit that we're using, and I want to train the frit away from the center as well as kind of away from the sides. And then we're going to go through on top, and I really like this medium grain red opal. The opal doesn't mean opalescent, and that goes for both of these. It just means that the glass is not translucent. So whenever it's been fired, the light transference through it is, next to nothing. Very, very opaque. That was misleading because the first time I ordered glass, I got a bunch of stuff that said opal because I thought it meant opalescent, like in, like an opal that has like all that shimmering flash and everything. If that's what you're going for, I recommend dichroic glass, or like iridescent glass sometimes can get that really cool effect. I'm just going to scoop about a little over a half a scoop of this red opal, and I've found I prefer to be very, very light-handed with this, but I don't know, let's get wild and put a little extra in there. You could also sprinkle this on just with your fingers if you wanted a little bit more control. They also have tools on the market called frit sifters, and I'm very gently encouraging these little crumbs to go back into the mold. And then I'm going to kind of tuck everything away. Now also keep in mind, since this is opaque glass, if I buried some of the red under the peacock green, you wouldn't be able to like see it. It's not like if we were stacking some translucent colors and it would give like a cool effect. It's just buried at that point. And you can kind of poke things a little bit. I've found that with our firing schedule, we go pretty hot with it because we fill up the kiln quite a bit, and we want everything to get up to temperature, so we get it pretty hot, like up to 1450 degrees, and then we hold it there for about 30 minutes. So you'll get a little bit of convection, like whenever you're boiling noodles, and how it just, the temperature, and it makes everything all roiling. So it doesn't get boiling hot with the glass, but you will experience a little bit of movement. So I don't get super specific about where I'm placing the frit pieces because I'm just gonna flail my arms around excitedly. It doesn't stay where you put it. I don't know how else to describe it, y'all. But if you get a real good look at this, I'll show you how it looks. Like, actually, it would be a really good idea. I'm gonna take a picture because the future, and I can do that. And then we'll look at this side by side whenever it's come out of the kiln and see how much movement we get. I think that's going to be a fun experiment. Here's an angle from the side so you can see. This mold's very accommodating for if it's like a thinner piece of glass. So that's how much I filled it. And I even did it like uneven and stuff. Let's see how that comes out. And I'm going to place this in my kiln, and then I'll show you how the kiln looks when we have it fully loaded. and the firing schedule is down in the video description. And I actually think I'm going to make another piece just like this one, but capped and clear, and we'll see how that comes out as well. Okay, so I'm going to be loading up another one, and not only am I quite low on this glass, and that's affecting my choice as well, but since I'm capping it with clear, I'm not going to fill it as much with the color because I do want there to be room in my mold. And you want to be very careful whenever you're spraying this or cleaning the molds or anything like that with the zip, that you don't want to breathe it in because that's super bad for you. But once it's cured, unless you're like scraping it and like slamming it around and stuff, it's pretty good. And we normally have the room vented, but I'd have the fan off because we're recording and it's loud. But you only, for the most part, get one set of lungs, so take good care of them. So I've sprinkled in some of our red, and now I'm coming in with clear glass frit in coarse grain. The larger the chunk of glass that you go with, the less bubbles you're going to get. Now, also, I don't really notice bubbles whenever we're working with opaque glass like this, unless we're putting clear on top of it, and then that can trap, and I actually go through and try to trap because I think it makes it look so interesting. Some bubbles. If you're not into the bubbles, you can, I recommend Googling like a bubble squeeze firing schedule, but even with frit like this, it doesn't matter how much you squeeze the bubbles in your kiln, you're gonna get some bubbles. But that's because around every single little piece of glass, there's a little, surface area of air, and that's just something to kind of keep in mind. You could do multiple firings, adding a layer here and there, like very thinly, so that as little air as possible gets trapped. But and if you really don't want bubbles, you could just cut pieces of sheet glass and stack them in. Just always make sure that all your glass is compatible. Today I'm working with a 96 COE, but the same effects and stuff could be accomplished with a 90 COE. Just again, be sure to not mix your COEs. So that is the opaque with clear. And we're going to load this into the kiln. And I'm just going to slide it in here. There we go. And then I'm going to keep working. Whoa! Sorry, the dog jumped up. So we have the kiln all full, and I'm going to come in with a kiln shelf. This is a 12-inch kiln shelf. I think I'll have linked down in the video description of where I got it. I think it was like Ceramic Warehouse or something, but I wanted a kiln shelf that left a little bit of a window on the side for or a space on the side for air to circulate. I do have a 15-inch kiln shelf as well that we use for whenever we're doing our own sheet melts, but I don't use it for whenever we're doing multi-layer. I really need the heat to be able to come down and reach these molds on the bottom. And I don't know if you can see, but here on my kiln, I have top heating elements. So again, I really need that heat to be able to go all the way down. So I'm going to put on some kiln paper, load this up with some tiles to puddle, and then put it into its firing schedule, which will be down in the video description. Okay, so it is the following day. I have run the kiln, and it is at about 133 degrees. So I'm gonna open it up. Ooh, these are looking good. Oh my. Okay, so we've opened up the kiln the following day, and this is how everything's looking. You can see here how we have the puddle melts on the top shelf, and I think these came out so pretty. They're a little dark right now because they're still cooling the rest of the way. This is about 130 degrees right now, but ooh, I can't wait to let it cool the rest of the way, and then we're going to open it up and see what the bottom shelf holds for us. This is how we take off that top kiln shelf, and this is how our cabs look. So here is the one that isn't capped and clear, and then there is the one that is. So we're letting them cool down the rest of the way, and then I will take them outside and unmold them. So we are outside and masked up, and I am just gonna dump that out of the mold. You can see the mold needs cleaned. There we are. And this is just an old ironing board. But I am going to take these inside and get them cleaned up. They are so pretty. Oh my gosh. And then I'll meet you guys back over there. I wanted to get some video where we can, let's focus in over here, and future Vaughn hopefully will edit in off to the right the picture that I had taken of this piece before it was fired, just so we can get an idea of how that shifted around. Let me know what you guys think of that down in the comments. I could also use a scrub brush, but I find this works just fine if I'm only doing one or two. Oh, thank you, honey. Do you want to scrub it for me? I can't reach it because I'm holding the camera. Teamwork! Oh, yeah! Oh, gosh, that's so much. Ow, the water's getting hot. Well, when you need a third hand, get a Randy. Can you hit the water for me? No, not me. Okay. Okay, let me take this mask off. Ultra high professional video here. Okay, so here we have, this is, oops, super durable. This is the one that's just solid opal, or the opaque. Gosh, I do love this red with the turquoise. So let me see if we're gonna sit it down and then really bring the camera in close. Oh, that's so pretty. And you can see the nice little lines in between it, like in between where each of the frit were. And then over here we have, this is the one that was capped and clear. And you can see, since we put more material in the mold, the whole size is different. But I think that's perfectly okay. I actually really like this capped and the clear, y'all. Which one's your favorite? Do you prefer the opal, or do you like the one capped and clear? Honestly, I hate to pick, so I make them both. But I think this just has such nice dimension to it. I love the addition of the bubbles. It just makes it so interesting. And it looks fizzy. And I also like the way that you can kind of see the way that the light domes through it. Wow. So nice. But yeah, these guys will be going up for sale on our shop, as well as I'm going to be making a whole bunch more very similar to them for putting into our craft along kits that we send out monthly. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel, we do shop updates every Monday, and we also have our craft along club, which all the links for all that stuff are down below. If you're watching this in the premiere, hey everybody. If you're not watching this in the premiere, and wanted to be sure to sign up for our newsletter, because we do, like, you know, we send out an email every time we have a new tutorial or a shop update or a live stream or just anything like that. And we also send out exclusive newsletter coupons, which I think are pretty cool, to kind of thank y'all for being part of our community. And I think that's everything. If y'all have any questions, comments, or ideas, or color requests, put them down in the comments, and I will see you all next time. So until then, you guys, happy crafting. Bye.